This is my last day with my M3. I'm selling the car. I sold my M3 in order to get my dream car, and I'm going to miss it. My plan was to never sell my M3, but I realized I'm not ready for a project car just yet. A lot of people told me it was a mistake selling my 8.6 for the M3, and I can understand that, but I still don't think it was. More on this in another video. I knew timing the sale of my M3 and finding my dream car was going to be difficult, so I relied on my friends Yao and Nathan. They gave me rides after I sold my M3, and thankfully we all worked together, which made me feel less guilty asking them for help. Thanks again, guys. But finding my dream car took longer than expected, and I was out of a car for quite some time. I knew I couldn't keep bothering them, so I started to feel some sort of desperation. Something you don't want when trying to buy a car. So I expanded my search area. My dream car is a GR Chassis STI, and I finally found one 8 hours away in Sacramento that looked quite promising. At first glance, it's a 2014 STI hatchback with only about 19,000 miles and 2 owners going for around $23,000. But it holds a rebuild title. I understand buying a rebuild title isn't the best idea, but after searching for so long, the desperation started to set, and I started researching the pros and cons to justify my decision. I finally decided that it wasn't going to be a problem as long as the rebuild was done properly. But there's only one way to find out. I bought a one-way flight for that weekend and planned to drive the car home, but I should have given this more thought. Despite all this, I still need to get a pre-purchase inspection and compression test done, but most of the shops in the area were closed on weekends.
We aren't open on the weekend now.
Oh. After calling around, a shop nearby thankfully said they were open on Saturday, but only had time for one test.
Usually I'm closed on Saturdays, but I'm going to be here this weekend.
So I first decided to book the PPI for Friday, and based on the result of that, booked the compression test.
I hope you're able to find your way back.
Thanks.
Even though I was confident in the car, I still doubted myself because I haven't seen it in person yet. This is my first time buying a car far from home, and everything was on me. I made the decision to sell my 8.6 for the M3, and now the M3 for this. Was it all a mistake? I know I've always wanted this car, but will I even like it? What happens when the deal doesn't go through? How will we get home? Hey, we made it to SFO.
Oh my gosh, we made it to SF.
Now, what do we have?
Now we're on our way to Sacktown.
Yep, Sacktown.
Got another 2-hour drive.
The possibility of not getting this car is still in the air. I couldn't predict what could or could not happen. As much as I want this car, I still prepared myself with the possibility of the deal not working out. All I could do now was hope for the best and see the car for myself. Alright, we just made it to Sacramento at Subi West. Kinda nervous.
What are you nervous about?
If I'm gonna like the car or not. As we walked to the car, I couldn't believe how amazing the car looked.
So this is the car.
I was so relieved after what felt like months, I was finally about to get my dream car. It was just like the listing and everything I wanted. But as we got closer, I began to notice some of the issues with the car. This is sticking out a little. Oh, popped it right back in place. In that moment, all I could think about was the disappointment I was feeling. The car was physically there, but something about it was missing. I noticed inconsistent panel gaps throughout the car, the driver door didn't close properly. For some reason the driver air vent was loose. The clutch felt awful and definitely wasn't stock. And worst of all, the steering wheel was off-centered.
Does it mean or does the steering wheel feel like it's to the left of it?
These were just the obvious issues I noticed. I couldn't imagine what else might have been missed during the PPI. The only positive thing about this car was the engine and compression test results. But after feeling the clutch, I felt the engine could have been swapped. This is what the tech had to say about it.
So the purple clamp is the wrong clamp. That clamp is actually for PPDOs. So if you were there's zip ties on that hose, there should be zip ties on it. It should be a clamp. Like there's no doubt. It's been apart. Why is up in the air? No.
I came to Sacramento thinking the only downside would be the title, but after seeing it in person, there was a lot more wrong than just the title. I should have seen the red flags, but I was too blinded by my desperation. But all I could think about was how we're all gonna get home.
Fuck that guy. He tried to fucking scam us. He tried to fucking scam Don. He tried to tell, oh, here, go buy this car. This car that has a door that won't go in all the way. Oh, what? Did Don tell you that? Did you tell them that?
Okay, I found another car in San Jose, so we're all getting ready to go look at it and maybe go to Topgolf.
I can't even dye my hair.
I don't know. Someone said something about Topgolf.
It's a joke.
Oh, it was a joke? It was not a joke. I destroyed them all.
I got robbed.
But honestly, I was really glad we got to see this car because I was starting to lose hope. I've seen and test driven multiple STIs in my area and was consistently disappointed. But even though I didn't end up getting my dream car just yet, we still needed a way back home. Fortunately, Viv's dad came up the day before visiting family and was able to take us back home. During this trip to SF, I learned a lot, and I wasn't going to make the same mistakes. I guess getting my dream car will just have to wait a bit longer. We're in Oregon, and it's like 9 p.m., and we have to go see the car tomorrow. I expanded my search area even further, and we found ourselves in Oregon. After what happened in Sacramento, we kept our expectations low, but our standards high. I also planned to ship the car home, so we booked round-trip flights and had a secure way back home.
It's so dark. The moon's up there.
Wow, I can see the stars.
The next morning, we went to get some food and finally go see the car. A completely stock 2013 STI with 73,000 miles and only one owner. Overall, the car looked perfect, but there were some minor flaws. However, after owning my M3, I didn't mind them. But besides the looks, the driving experience definitely exceeded my expectations. The clutch felt like it was supposed to, and the shifts were short and notchy. Everything about the car checked out as I hoped, and after the test drive, we were already on our way back home. A couple days later, the car finally arrived at my house, and I still couldn't believe it. Seeing the car arrive on the trailer, knowing that I own it, was an insane feeling. From all the cars that I've been privileged to own, to the weeks of being carless, the search for my dream car is finally over. All the planning, waiting, and even the mistakes I've made along the way for this to happen was all worth it. There's a lot to do, and I can't wait what's next for this car. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing.